So this is going to be a quick review of each character and the changes that I did to each of the action figure or the character. So let's start with Hunter. So let us first do a quick 360 view of Hunter. Okay, so you could see the additions to the action figure. So number one is going to be the inclusion of a clone trooper belt. So that comes from Star Wars Black Series Echo, which you could find at Ollie's for $9.99. Okay, so on the back of Hunter, we glued on a holster for his sidearm because this action figure came with a long firearm, a sidearm, and a forearm knife. Okay, so we're going to discuss the forearm knife. So that is his new forearm knife because the one that was included with the action figure or originally designed with the action figure is going to be that, which is actually very clunky and bulky. Okay, so take a look at how thick the knife sheath is versus the one that I glued on to the action figure. So that is from G.I. Joe Classified series, and the knife is from Action Force Valaverse. Okay, so that is a more sleeker and thinner profile versus that which is very clunky. Okay, but we still included this knife as part of his additional weapons or gear or accessories. Okay, so for the backpack, we have storage for his longer blaster. So we drilled a hole on this side. We placed a peg on the blaster, and that serves as a connection point to the backpack that way. Okay, and of course we also included two axes, which comes from a Gundam model kit, which you could purchase at Amazon. Okay, so tomahawks. So these sides are not painted. I just painted those sides silver, and since they have those holes which perfectly fits those that peg. Okay, so stored on the backpack this way. 1 and 2. Okay, so pistol is nicely settled on the back. Nice profile for the forearm knife. And let's take a look at the head unit of Hunter. So that is the head unit from Star Wars Black Series. Next character that we have in view is going to be Crosshair. Okay, so let's do a quick 360 view of the action figure. Okay, so changes to this action figure. So actually very little. So I just changed the position of the holster. So from a left hand draw, I cut it off from the belt, the pistol belt, and just changed the position to a cross draw. Okay, well, just makes sense if you're a right hand shooter to have a right hand drawing position for a secondary firearm. Okay, so this action figure had straps running from this side of the action figure down to the battle belt or the pistol belt, and we still have a strap that runs to the back and connects to the back of the belt. And whenever you play with the action figure, move the action figure sideways or rotate or bend, it's going to deform how the belt would be positioned. So what I did was just to cut it off. Disconnect, and also on the back, disconnect. And this portion is not glued, so we just dabbed a little bit of glue so it's going to stay in position. And on this side of the belt, we added more special ammunition since he has a some cases here for, or cartridges for the rifle, so some kind of special ammunition. Okay, so that is for Crosshair. So special features of this action figure. Of course, in the TV series, this could act as a DMR without the extended barrel. So this is still a functioning unit, as we have seen. And with the connection of the longer barrel, it becomes a sniper, full-size sniper rifle. Okay, so this could be stored either ways, separately or as one unit. Okay, so this is how the helmet of Crosshairs would look. So we have a special side on the visor, a cutout, which would allow him to have more vision per se. Okay, and also he has a extended range finder. And let's take off the helmet so we could take a look at the head unit of Crosshair as presented by Star Wars Black Series. Okay, so this time we have Tech, the only member of the Bad Batch that was KIA. Okay, so let's do a quick 360 view of the action figure. This is the action figure that received the less changes, because the action figure, the base action figure is already good. So good points of articulation, good accessories that are included, except for the inclusion of a holster. So that's it. So that is an holster from G.I. Joe Classified Series Outback. So we just got the holster of Outback as to size of the Clone Trooper blaster or sidearm. Okay, so which is presented very nice and neat, and we would always see Tech draw his sidearm from the back actually. So from this position, that is really a good representation of how he draws his sidearm. As to additional firepower, so that is a blaster that came from Wrecker. So I just reassigned the Wrecker blaster to this guy because he's the only one who has a single weapon for the Bad Batch. So for my entire Bad Batch team, I would increase their capacity or their firepower. So either two blasters or a combination of a bigger blaster and a sidearm. Okay, so yep, so good points of articulation and accessories, really great. And each of these accessories could be a handheld thing for the left hand. The right hand would always be a weapon holding hand. Okay, so let's take a look at the head unit of Tech. Fourth figure is going to be Echo. So I still have a Echo action figure that is sealed in box, the original Echo figure which I bought. So this is a Echo action figure which I bought from Ollie's. Actually just one of the few because I really bought a lot. Okay, so for kit bashing purposes, I already used this action figure. Okay, especially for parts for the rest of the Bad Batch, especially the belt, which I used with Hunter, and the other action figure which receive a trooper belt is going to be Wrecker, which is going to be the last action figure that we're going to show. But first, let us discuss the changes that I did to this action figure. Okay, so it's just going to be the inclusion of another holster and another firearm. So this guy wields two blasters or pistols. Okay, so how is he able to do that? Of course, just a little bit of modification to the right hand or right forearm. Instead of always having that stump, so we have a stump or a a data stamp that is removable. Okay, so this piece, actually I just stored it in that portion of the backpack, and just in case he needs to use it to access a data port, so I would do this. So still staying true to the original form of Echo. But it just doesn't make sense to always have him with this thing, with this stamp. Because if they Star Wars very technologically advanced, so they could give this guy a robotic forearm, a right forearm, a full forearm which has working hands. So yeah, does not make sense that Echo would just receive that upgrade. So for my Bad Batch, this is how I would like to represent this character, of course. So let's just cover that section up and place that hand back in and place that stamp back in. Okay, so it stores perfectly there on the backpack. And let's take a look at the head unit of the action figure. So this is going to be the helmet, and you have to detach that portion of the helmet to expose the head unit, which we're going to do. Okay, so that is the head unit of Echo. And we have the last member of the Bad Batch, Wrecker. So this is the 360 view of the action figure. So this figure received two changes: addition of a belt or a utility belt, and the change of weapon. Okay, so that is a weapon which I discussed in a previous video, so from another Star Wars Black series. And of course, that belt comes from Star Wars Black series Echo, which is your always best. Okay, so as for Wrecker, so this is how the helmet looks, and we're going to take a look at the head unit of Wrecker. So if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe to help me grow my channel. And see you on the next action figure or custom action figure review.